Warning, this episode contains spoilers, and in lieu of a spoiler thingy, have this fancy background. Welcome, everybody, to Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament. I am your host, Mikhail, and tonight we will be having an epic joust of feasting proportions. No, that doesn't work. Anyway, as seen on TV podcast, Game of Thrones, Episode 6, The Laws of Gods and Men. I'm Mike, that's Clio.
Hi.
Hi. This episode, stuff happened, including a big trial for Tyrion, Stannis met the Iron Bank people, Theon is full-blown Stockholm Syndrome. I think this is beyond Stockholm Syndrome.
That Theon is complete mental.
Gone and,
broke down to the bottom.
Fourth thing, Dany's dragons are the size of an elephant? Not the girth of an elephant, but the overall size.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know. It ate a goat. Anyway, what'd you think of this episode?
It's very good.
Yes, I do. I agree.
Heart-wrenching.
Heart-wrenching, I know. We'll get to the heart-wrenching later. It's pretty easy to go in order. I like to go in geographical order, and they kind of did that somewhat this episode. Not really, but we get an opening of a really big friggin' statue guarding a harbor that is Braavos. Nice city. How'd they build that statue?
Huh?
How'd they build that statue is my question.
What
That
do
was
you mean?
Omi's question. That gigantic statue guarding the harbor of Braavos.
Yeah.
How'd they build it?
What
It's
do you mean?
huge.
Yeah.
I don't know. Never mind. I don't know. How do they build big things?
If you look at ancient architecture, there are a million things you could say, how the fuck did they build it? They just did. They did it, and it happened. It wasn't aliens. It was just people worked with what they had, and they did amazing things with it.
Maybe in this case it was aliens. Oh. Stannis shows up to the Iron Bank with Davos, his right-hand man, his hand of the king. What'd you think of the whole Iron Bank thing? The whole scene.
It was awesome.
Kinda
It
awesome.
was just like a bank. We've been standing here all day, pacing back and forth.
It really was a bank.
Really was a bank.
Everybody can relate to that. I just admire the plan of Davos. The Iron Bank,
Yeah.
the crown is in debt. They fund their enemies. Where their enemies? Money.
Yeah.
So they kind of left us. Oh no, actually they didn't leave us. The scene with Davos and Salador San kind of showed that the bank loaned the money.
They showed that the bank was going to think about it, which was better than them just saying no. Because they were like, I don't think so. And then Davos went off on what are the Lannisters without Tywin? You think you've made this deal with the Lannisters, but really, you're just backing Tywin. And when he's gone, because he's an old man, you're not going to want to hang around with the Lannisters anymore.
No.
Stannis looks like a better candidate now, right?
Yeah, better candidate for getting your money back.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that yields good things for Stannis. As much as
I don't want to say no, because I don't want Stannis to have anything. Stannis doesn't deserve a goddamn thing.
Stannis doesn't deserve a goddamn thing, but at the same time, I want him to have some successes. I feel bad for the guy. He's got a batshit insane wife, a witch telling him what to do, and his only...
But wait, no, hold on. You feel bad for Stannis?
No, I feel bad for Davos, actually.
Bad for Davos.
You're
Yes.
right. Because he is...
Bad for Davos, because Davos is a good guy.
Davos is yeah, Stannis is honorable, but he's an idiot. Davos is a good guy.
And an asshole. Stannis is an asshole.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Davos again. I'm like, no!
What?
Stannis is an asshole, you're right.
Yes.
He's a jerk.
I mean, you can put honorable in quotes. maybe some odd definition of honorable could be used to describe Stannis. And I don't understand, because Davos still stands up for him like he's the best thing on the fucking earth, and I'm like, Davos, stop.
Maybe Davos sees the good in him or whatever. Ned Stark liked Stannis.
I think Davos is blinded by, I owe this man my life, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just very...
It could be that. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Staying in the east, further east, Meereen. Dany is seeing... She's taking guests, seeing supplicants. Basically, she's holding court and listening to the petitions of the peasantry.
Yes.
We get, what, 2 of note?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We only actually see 2 of them.
Right, and she had, what, 200 and something waiting?
There were 214 left.
Her face. 214.
Welcome to being a queen, milady.
Indeed. So the first one was the shepherd whose goat we saw get cooked alive and carried off for dinner.
Goats. Plural.
Goats, yeah.
He killed all of the goats. Whether
Right.
he ate them all is another story, but he killed them all.
Right, okay, and, he just brought the bones of one, yeah, goats. Mine, eaten, dragons, bad. So, Dany was pretty cool with that, I'll pay you what they're worth, times 3. You had 5 dead goats, I will pay you for 15.
Yeah, that's great and that's fine. I'm sure that farmer is gonna be well off for a while, but if the dragons keep killing livestock, no amount of gold is gonna get you your livestock back.
Plus, you kind of need livestock.
Yeah.
You supply the city with meat and
Yeah, exactly.
stuff, things, food,
There's going to be no way to control the dragon, at all.
If the dragons...
It makes me wonder how the dragon... Did the dragons used to live in King's Landing with...
They were,
Targaryens ruled?
They don't describe... Okay, from the book, this isn't spoiling shit. From the book, the description of King's Landing is it's built on 3 hills. The tallest hill is the Red Keep. Mm-hmm. The second tallest is the Great Sept of Baelor. And the third hill is... I forget what the building's called. But it's basically a gigantic domed Colosseum-like building where they kept the dragons.
So they just kept the dragons caged?
Yes, they kept them caged up.
Oh.
Well, at least that's what the building was built to house dragons, initially. I don't know what it's used for now. I forget. It's a very minor...
I'm just wondering, she's never going to be able to control them.
That's... They say.
So, what do you do?
There's a bit, I don't know what the Valyrians did with them. I mean, there were... it's never really clearly mentioned. There were a bunch of families, high noble families in Valyria that controlled dragons. It never mentioned what they did with them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's keeping the whole thing of Valyria very secret. Kind of, mysterious.
I feel like there's not many people who would really know the accurate and full history of Valyria, so why would we hear about it? Because we're hearing the books through the eyes of these characters and the minds of these characters. Not
very true.
Of them will not know the history of Valyria.
Yeah, he gives... I think the history pieced together is... It was around for thousands of years. It was ruled by... It was a freehold, no king. It was ruled by 40 noble families. The most powerful of them were dragon lords. The Targaryens were dragon lords. And they weren't the most powerful. The Targaryens were, I think, on the bottom ladder of the dragon-controlling families. But they were the only ones who got the fuck out before the place blew up. So...
How did it blow up?
They just call it the Doom. The way it's described, a peninsula, it's now a bunch of fractured islands, and the sea is boiling. And the sky looks like it's constantly on fire. It's reminiscent of a major volcanic event.
I bet it's magic.
Something. So, there was a couple survivors that described it as, the ground opened up, the sea rushed in, and big mountains of fire just started erupting everywhere.
Yeah, it sounds like a volcano.
It sounds like, I mean, they worked a lot with magic, so it sounds like somebody fucked up. Because, I mean, in every, like, fantasy lore out there, this sounds like someone casting a big spell and they done goofed. But
Yeah.
anyway, tangents. Had nothing to do with this
It's
episode.
applicable tangents because we are
Applicable.
talking about controlling the dragons.
Which is
which-
lost to history.
Yeah. We're not even sure how much of Valerian history Danny knows.
She would know, considering she is probably the last living the last living pure-blood Valyrian that we know of.
Yeah.
I don't know. She would probably know the general history, like that everybody else knows.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that. Anyway, that's the East. Now on to the West. Yara Greyjoy, who we haven't seen all season, has the note from Ramsay. I took away Theon's favorite toy.
It's in a box that I mailed you.
Enclosed in this box is Theon's favorite toy. Open it. Close it. There's a dick in this box.
Yep, that's a dick.
That...
Yep, that's a dick.
Totally. Unpleasant mental image. Anyway, Yara tries to rescue him. She gets down to the cages, which, what do you think? He's being kept like a dog in the cages instead of the dungeon.
Yeah.
That's kind of worse.
With the dogs, next to the dogs.
Yeah. I don't know if that's better or worse.
I don't know either.
Guess it beats dungeon. Depends on the dungeon. Yeah, Yara gets there, tries to free him, and Ramsay shows up, covered in blood. I thought those were, like, in the preview, those were, like, lashes and gashes in him. No, that was the blood of people he just killed.
Yeah.
Half naked.
They would have gotten away with him.
They would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling Stockholm-induced...
If it wasn't for the mental break.
The total, mental break.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Kinda for Theon. I mean, yeah, he was a total dick. Yeah, he did some really screwed up shit to the Starks, who did nothing but, raise him and treat him like a family member. Even though technically he was a hostage. But, I don't know, I thought, that's kind of too far, but...
It's a suck position.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Because he deserved to be punished.
I don't feel bad for Theon. But he's not Theon anymore.
No, you're right. He's not Theon anymore. I feel bad for Reek.
Yeah.
There. That's that. Also,
It's like super sad, because it's like, here's a reward, here's a bath. And the whole time he's like, he's gonna hit me. Oh no, he's gonna hit me.
The whole time I was like, come on, strip. Take the shirt off. And your breeches. I'm like, oh god, we are going to see mutilated man parts, aren't we? They're going for full shock value. That's what I was scared of.
Let's be honest. We've hardly ever seen a dick in this show, so I doubt they'd show us a missing dick.
Yeah, at least like a half dozen times there's been full male nudity, but...
Well, there hasn't.
Hodor, Theon in season 1, the guy they were dragging...
It was not full.
True.
You saw, like, the top half of his dick.
True, okay.
Doesn't count.
The guy they were dragging behind Drogo's horse. Yeah, okay. No, I was just feeling like, oh god, please no, please no, please no, please no, please no, please. And I was like, thank you. But he bath is a reward.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did, yeah.
He's living with the dogs.
I'm curious what Ramsay has in store for him, though. I'm gonna need you to pretend to be somebody.
Yeah.
Who? Theon Greyjoy. What kind of a mental... Go on, that's the mental
task that
script.
Bolton put to him was to take back, or to take over the...
Take over Moat Cailin.
Yeah. So he's gonna use Theon as... Trappity trap.
Trappity trap.
Yeah.
That's a trap!
It's a trap!
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Small council meeting now.
Mm-hmm.
Which Prince Oberon is
Amazing scene.
Yeah, I love I love him. He's just an amazing character. But yeah, the small council meets. They're discussing. By the way, the Targaryen girl. She's took over Marine. She's occupied the city. She has a decent slave army. She can fuck us up, guys. Here's my question. I'm trying to lead into a question here for discussion. Do you think that they're actually worried, the Lannisters, about Daenerys?
Nobody at that table was worried. One, Varys, I think, was the only one who was worried at that table.
Well, yeah, Varys was the only one who was worried, but Oberon was the only one who actually voiced logic. Like, she's got a decent army. I mean, they're impressive soldiers.
Yeah, but Oberon's not worried because Oberon doesn't care.
No, Oberon doesn't give a shit.
Oberon doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. But, what else was discussed at that meeting? Really, that was it, right? Oh, okay, here.
Fucking Tyrell.
Mace?
Yes.
Oh, I know, he's such a little kiss-ass.
I didn't realize how annoying he was. I just thought he was the funny, not quite so smart dude. He's really annoying. It's like, I am hup, 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 hup. And Oberon's just like, I really don't care.
Right. I mean, well, the Dorne... Okay, Dorne is in the south, right? What else is in the south? I forget what they're called, where the Tyrells, Highgarden and whatever the land is called around it. They're also in the south.
Yeah.
They're like, they share borders. I don't think they like each other very much.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Actually,
right.
I know for a fact they don't like each other, but I'm playing coy. They don't like each other very much. And, you know,
I mean,
Mace...
that was obvious, but I didn't realize it was a border issue.
Hey, you know, and you've seen how Oberon treats people he doesn't like. He ignores them, mostly.
Or is extremely snarky.
It is very snarky.
Yeah.
So...
Snark master.
The thing I wanted to discuss here, Oberon and Varys' little conversation in the throne room.
Yeah.
Did we finally get an insight into Varys' true, you know, whatever.
Aspirations?
Aspirations, allegiances, whatever.
Allegiances is whatever's going to keep him alive. We've known that.
Yeah, true. That's pretty obvious.
But it was really weird because the scene especially at the end, he nods to the throne and it's like, does he want to be king?
Nods to the throne. He just full on looks at the damn thing, like stares at it, obviously,
yeah.
And then looks back at Oberon. And is like, bye then, and walks away.
Varys is very smart and tactical, and he's a realist.
Mm.
How does a realist think that he's going to end up on the throne? I don't know. You're probably biting your tongue because you fucking know, but
I know.
I can't understand his reason.
I don't know his thought processes. I kind of know his goal, but that's because I've read ahead.
No, you've read the appropriate amount.
I've read the appropriate amount. It's, believe it or not, it's actually the absolute final chapter in the 5th book. The absolute last one. It's the epilogue chapter, as in after the book.
My God. Okay. All
Um.
right. So I'm gonna assume we're gonna expect some big things from Varys.
Coming soon, yeah. Not really big. Just like, oh, so, okay. Like, it's just like a sudden, it's a reveal of a tiny bit of information that just gives you enough to like, well, that explains a lot.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know,
right.
you get that. But this was kind of a little, I don't know, understand his thought processes. He's looking at the throne like, walks away. Like, then Oberon's sitting there. I think he was thinking the same thing, like, confused, like, you what?
Yeah. Because I think Oberon is looking at Varys like me, as the audience is looking at Varys like he's a realist. Why would he think he can get the throne?
This is like one of the smartest men in the land. Yeah, he'd probably do a good job, but how does he even think?
It's not about whether he'd do a good job or not. It's about how.
Yeah. Well, here's a
what
good question.
right, what method would you employ as
Right, what
Varys?
right does he have?
Right.
Varys, I don't think he has any right. Varys is from Lys. He's from another continent. He's a foreigner. He has no relations to anybody.
Exactly. He can't have children.
He has no legal claim to the throne in... He would have to go stage mass genocide to even remotely be considered.
Yeah. Take out a whole line.
Now here's a follow-up question. Do you think Varys would be a decent king? He stated multiple times to Tyrion, to Ned Stark, to others, I think, that he serves the realm. Period.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to count for something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he would do a good job as king. I'm not sure he would be the best king. He would... Everything would run very smoothly.
There is that. He'd be a better king than Littlefinger, probably.
Oh, God. Littlefinger needs to suck it.
Now, okay, we had no Littlefinger this episode, but he clearly wants the Iron Throne.
What?
I said he clearly wants to be king.
Littlefinger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he clearly wants to be in charge. I don't know if that means being king, but...
I think it means being king. Why the hell?
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's so creepy. He stands there, he smiles, and in his head he's probably going, I fucking wish I could throw you off a cliff right now. While smiling. Anyway, the big part of this episode, the trial.
Yes.
Big part. So, Tyrion is paraded into the throne room. Tommen recuses himself from being the judge because he's a kid.
Yeah.
Grandpa told him to.
Yeah. But then Tywin sits on the throne. Is that, like, allowed?
Yeah, look at season 1 when Ned Stark was holding court in replacement of Robert. He was sitting on the throne.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking like British royalty, where if you are not the queen or king, you do not sit on the throne.
No, this is the throne. I mean, yes, if the king is present, you don't sit in the throne. But
no, but even I'm pretty sure with the way the English work, even if you're not.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't think the way the English
they
work.
sit on the chair next to, even if they are presiding and the king or queen is not there.
Right, they don't sit on the throne.
They don't sit on the throne is specifically for the butt of the monarch and nobody else.
Right, this one it's more of it's for the butt of the monarch or the hand of the king when the monarch's not there.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's worked.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I did totally forget about the whole Ned thing.
I almost forgot. All of a sudden it flashed through my head. I was like, oh yeah, Ned sat there. Like, realization. So the trial begins, and what'd you think of it?
Well, immediately. Well, no, the first guy was telling the truth. He was just being a dick about it.
Samarin.
Yeah, but then it was just like Cersei gets up and says that he told her what she told him, and I'm like, it's just no. You told him all those bad things that you're saying. Tyrion very quickly realized he couldn't argue any of it.
Yeah, I mean, he outbursts, like, he doesn't even try to cross-examine Sir Meryn or anything, if he was allowed to. I think he was.
He was.
Yes.
And he did cross-examine Varys.
That was the only person. I mean, as he burst out to Meryn, like, why don't you tell him what the king was doing? You know, pointing a crossbow at Sansa Stark while you held her down and ripped her clothes off. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that just fell on deaf ears, obviously.
Yep.
Like,
Tywin just yelled at him. It's like, all right, thanks, Dad.
It's like, yeah, you came up, you threatened, you told the king he was an idiot, adult, whatever, and threatened to have me killed if I didn't shut up. Yeah, you were both being complete assholes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cross-examines Varys, the only person. Varys was the only one who was kind of telling outright bullshit.
Cersei was telling equal bullshit.
Well, yeah, Tyrion did say to her, that whole ash, your joy will turn to ash in your mouth. To her. No, that wasn't Cersei to Tyrion. That was Tyrion to Cersei.
No, Cersei told Tyrion all that she said he said. She told it to him because that was when he sent the daughter away. And she was so mad. She's like, when you love something, I will take it away from you, and your joy will turn to ash. She told him that.
Remember a scene where Tyrion tells her that last season or the end of
I
season
gotta look
2.
it up. I swear to God, all of that was her, and it was just one long ranting monologue.
That was clearly Tyrion to Cersei. I remember that.
No, because I'm hearing it in her voice.
Anyway, the rest of it, like, most of it was seeded somewhat in truth. Like,
those words were exchanged.
They glossed over Pycelle saying, he goes through his list of poisons, right?
Yes.
Back in season 2, in the book anyway, back in book 2, Tyrion did peruse the poison shelf, and he did take a vial of something. But, I mean, it didn't happen in the show, so it's no spoiler here. It was a vial of something to give Cersei the shits, so she couldn't show up to court that day, and Tyrion would, be in charge.
That's hilarious.
So that was what he stole.
That's really funny.
But yeah, that was all seeded somewhat in truth there, a little bit. The whole thing, Sir Meryn said everything, but Varys was just pure bullshit.
Yeah.
That and what do you think of the cross-examination? The only person he asked a question out of anybody.
It makes sense. It makes sense that that's the only person he would ask the question, because he mentions it. He's like, you said everyone would forget, but you would remember.
Mm-hmm.
Did you forget?
Mm.
And he just want to know why. It's like, that's the only one. He's like, why? God, you said, man, you said.
Also, but Varys also said to Tyrion, I think a couple times, if you get into shit, I am not risking my neck to save you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know.
There is that, and then comes the big shocker. The Crown may call their next witness, and who walks in?
John knew from the footsteps. I'm like, you did. I had no fucking clue.
That's got to be fucked up, though. So I'm guessing she never made it to Pentos, where she was going.
Yeah.
Never made it.
And the question I have is whether she meant to go away, but someone grabbed her and kept her, said, someone put to her, hey, testify against Tyrion, or, whatever, like threatened her. Or if she was just like, I'm fucking gonna get back at Tyrion. Whether it was her idea to testify against.
Yeah, I mean, all that, she came up with the whole, Tyrion plotted this with Sansa, the whole thing. All that bullshit she came up with.
Well, that sounds like lines she was fed, That sounded like she was reciting from a script.
And I'm guessing, who got to her, though? That's the question.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty
Cersei.
obvious. Yeah. Let's say it's pretty obvious who got to her.
It's Cersei.
Yeah. So, another big thing with the trial. Jaime. It's kind of a, kind of a loving brother relationship here. Like, he goes to his father, he says, let Tyrion live.
Yeah.
I will drop everything. I will renounce my, white cloak. I will go back to Casterly
Do what you want.
Now, do you think he was expecting that quick of an answer?
He was not expecting it, but once it came, he was like, fuck, this is what you wanted the entire time. This is why you're presiding over the case. You wanted me to just fucking give this
he
shit
just
up.
looked, he's like, basically, the look of realization, you manipulated me this whole time.
Yes. The shiny sword didn't work, so putting the brother at risk was step 2.
Now, after Shay's testimony, though, what's going to happen now to that whole plan? For Jaime, for everybody, because Tyrion just threw a monkey wrench into everything.
Yeah.
I demand a trial by combat.
Jaime's the only one who tried to help Tyrion. The only one. He's the only one who tried to help Tyrion. I think he's gonna, because the deal wasn't the deal get him to get the plea bargain, and then Jaime would go back to Casterly Rock?
Yes. It was going to be,
so Jaime can dispute and say, I don't fucking have to go now. Fuck you.
Basically, Tyrion has to name a champion because he can't very well fight. Well,
Or Tyrion's plan is he's going to fight and die.
there is that, very much so.
And
I mean, last time this happened...
monkey wrench in his father's plan.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That he threw a monkey wrench. You know what? I'm not going to have you tell me what to do, so fuck you. I mean, this happened the first season. Tyrion demanded a trial by combat when Lysa Arryn was being a nutjob. Well, she is a nutjob when she was just demonstrating herself. He demands a trial by combat. He gets it. This is how he meets Bronn.
Yes.
So, what do you think Tyrion's going to fight himself, and his plan is to fight and die?
Well, I can't tell, but he's just so pleased with himself when he saw everybody shocked. He's just like, yeah, fuck you, Dad. Yeah. I don't know what his plan was when he said those words.
He was pure emotion, though. Like,
yeah, it might have just been, I don't fucking care.
I loved the whole speech.
I'm not gonna plead for my life. I'm getting no justice.
I'm getting no justice. I didn't kill Joffrey, but I wish I did. Watching your bastard die, and like he just outright says it.
I loved like turning as like, I wish I had just let Stannis kill all of you.
Mm-hmm. It's true. But
I don't know. What came into my mind when he said trial by combat, I was like, he's gonna have to fight Jaime.
Oh, Jesus.
Because who is gonna be the one to fight Tyrion?
The person... Okay, it worked. Lysa Arryn named her champion.
Yeah.
And then Tyrion... Well, he had to ask for volunteers, but I believe they can name their champions, if willing, if they don't want to fight themselves. Like, if Jaime went to trial by combat, he'd fight himself. You know?
No, I understand. But who would be the opponent for Tyrion?
Let's think logically. Who...
It would be chosen by Tywin, correct?
No. Tywin's the judge.
It would be chosen by Tommen.
No. Tommen's recused from the whole thing. Cersei is the one who charged Tyrion. This court case is Cersei versus Tyrion. Who would Cersei name as her champion?
It has to be a willing... Like, if she named Jaime can turn it down, right?
Yes, he can.
Okay.
So who would she name?
Jaime's not going to do it. I think it's going to be the Mountain.
Very good.
Yeah, because we've been setting up for a Mountain versus Oberon.
Well...
And that is the title of an episode coming up, isn't it?
Episode 8, yeah. The Mountain and the Viper.
Yeah, so that's what I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, the next preview, we hear mention of the Mountain's name. We even see him chopping somebody in half, I think.
We do.
So, yeah.
Giant Swede.
Because, I think Cersei would pick him because...
Yeah.
He's pretty much unkillable.
Killbot.
Yeah, I mean... Who would want to fight? I mean...
Yeah. This is the dynamic I want to see. I want to see Cersei go to Jaime and say, Jaime, be my champion, and he's going to say, no, fuck off, bitch. And then he's going to go to Tyrion and say, Tyrion, I'll be your champion. And Tyrion's going to be like, no, Jaime, I don't want to risk your life. You're my brother.
Mm-hmm. And
that will I'll get choked up if that's what's going to happen.
I'm just getting the information for the, don't read. Please don't read.
Okay, I won't read.
Because there's going to be this is spoil. I'm talking about my share screen, everybody. I'm on the Song of Ice and Fire wiki.
You know what? I'm just going to minimize my screen. Let me know when it's
spoilers everywhere.
I minimized the screen and it was a picture of a kitten.
Oh, that's adorable. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, who would want to fight the Mountain?
Nobody.
The character in the book is 8 feet tall. He weighs 420 pounds. He wields a 6-foot two-handed greatsword with one hand. And he wears armor that's heavier and thicker than any other man can wear. So he's indestructible. He has reach. Yeah. I mean, think of it at 8 foot tall.
I'm pretty sure...
Alright, it's closed.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that the Mountains... not going to be Cersei's choice.
You fenced. Would you want to go up against an 8-foot-tall opponent with a 6-foot sword?
No.
Exactly.
Oh.
So...
Well, fencing's a little different. You don't have to get past armor in fencing.
No, very true. In this case, you would.
Yes, you would.
And he also has 3 feet on you. A couple 100 pounds.
It's okay, I'll stick him in the dick.
He's probably very well armored.
A very well-armored dick.
Anyway, so next episode, there's really nothing else that happened this episode. It was very compartmentalized. It wasn't like, oh, and here's Arya in the Riverland. It's like, there was no, like, east, south, these 5 different characters, Bryan on the road, Arya in the Riverlands with the Hound. It was very compartmentalized to just a couple areas. I like episodes like that. I mean, I sometimes don't like them because I'm like, what happened with Jon? What is he doing? Is he back to the wall safe? Are wildlings attacking?
I mean, the thing is, every 2 episodes, you get all, like, updates from all the characters.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, updates from all the major characters.
Yeah. Everyone that matters.
Yeah. So next episode is called Mockingbird.
You know what that means? Fucking, hate him so much.
It was mentioned once that the Mockingbird is the sigil of House Baelish.
He made it up.
He made it up. He's the Lord of House Baelish. He was. There was no noble family. He was lorded by someone.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever. And from the preview, we get the Mountain chopping somebody in half, and Sansa is in deep doo-doo again. How much deep doo-doo again? We get an image of Aunt Lysa holding her over that opening in the floor.
Yeah.
While looking very pissed off. So...
It's just like... Oh! Lysa's just gonna keep getting more jealous because she's unstable. She needs medication!
In modern days, she would be on a lot of meds.
If she was diagnosed...
She would be on what? Antipsychotics?
I don't know.
I don't know what she'd be on.
Medical.
I'm not a... No.
That's not my area. She would just be on some happy pills.
We'd have to ask John. John's the psychologist. We'd have to ask him what he's, what she'd be on.
Have him psychoanalyze the characters in Game of Thrones.
Psychoanalyze the crazy lady.
Yep.
Anyway, that's next episode. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I want to see a very large Norwegian man cut people in half.
Yes, I do too.
And that's one of the lesser dirty things I've said today. What? Clio, where can they find you? Because we're just gonna end this on that one. I'm gonna pull a Top Gear, and on that bombshell, good night.
You can find me at Clio Moto on You can find me at Clio Moto on Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram. You can find me on Twitch at the Clio Moto. Just put a the this side. Just put a the in the front of Right.
You could find me on Twitter at Thilladrin, right? I need the bouncy thing. Right there. You could find all of these things on tvcaptive.com and the ASOTV podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Gmail, Google+, and Twitter. Also on tvcaptive.com. You can go to tvcaptive.com/offers. We have, you'll find a bunch of links there for promo codes and offers to a few games right now. You get 20% off coupons for Dark Souls 2, Elder Scrolls Online, WildStar, and a couple others. They will be updated as more offers come available to us. So we're happy to bring them to you. Use them, click them, enjoy them. Stuff. I'm Mike. That's Clio.
Bye.
And she waves. Goodbye. From medieval times, dinner and tournament. I really gotta go there.
Hit him in the dick.
Hit him in the dick. That's one heavily armored dick.